I know healing is so multifaceted.
Hmm.
So, what are maybe like a few things that you can take from your work, from what you've put into the book? What does it take to heal? I think you
Hmm.
mentioned one, which is community. Um,
Absolutely. We need relationships. Not only do we need relationships, we need to know that we're already in relationships. Um, what got you here today, how you got food in your stomach, the building you live in, you're already created by community. And most of the time, our society convinces us that we're still somehow individuals, but none of us got to this day alone.
True.
None of us got to this moment alone. So, relationship is actually the reality.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of coming into the reality. Um, the other thing about what it takes to heal, I say in the book that it starts one with vision and longing. So, I will say that a lot of us, we have other people's visions kind of imposed on us, who we're supposed
Mm-hmm.
to be, what we should be doing,
Mm-hmm.
what will make us a good woman or a good
Yep.
man, or,
Yep.
all these things about other people's visions for our lives. And we wonder, and then we try to like accumulate to become that. And we live oftentimes with this sense of dissatisfaction, kind of perpetual dissatisfaction. And I think ultimately, a lot of us aren't in touch with our actual longing, what it is that we
Mhm.
care about, what it is
Yep.
that we want for our lives in the world, what it is that makes us satisfied. And becoming, as my good friend Adrienne Marie Brown talks about in her work, becoming satisfiable in that way. And I think that comes from being in touch with your longings. The other thing about what it takes to heal is to feel. Um, Nothing's going to change until we allow ourselves to feel it. A lot of us spend our times running from what we already know needs to be felt, or we can sense
Mm-hmm.
in our bodies needs to be felt, but we run away from it in overachievement. We run away from it in substance. We run away from it in any number of distractions. I mean, you can use anything in the world to distract yourself from feeling. But I think feeling and having the kind of safety where you can feel what it is that you need to feel is the path towards transformation. That your body already wants to express and release, but
Mm-hmm.
most of the time we end up building these blocks to that expression. Um, and then I would say, I'm kind of talking to the chapters of the book. I would think, another piece along with relationship is, I talk about at the end of the book, love. I, as a organizer for a long time, I didn't talk about love because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was a serious thing. But I think the practice of love is the great transformative agent
Yeah.
in our universe to me. The only time I've ever really changed is because I was loved and
Mm.
allowed myself to be loved. And that's when I actually could let something go. So I think offering love, clarifying our own practice of love, you know, um, loving wide, loving deep, loving spaciously. Um, I think that kind of love gives each of us the kind of space and light to transform in.
Oh, that is beautiful. I'm so mad. Why is he riding the lawnmower like on the street? What are you doing? Um, that love piece is huge. I realize I have not gotten through All About Love by Bell Hooks because it is like every line was like a gut punch because I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, I don't know how to love, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And have I been loved? I mean,
Right.
you can only
Right.
give what you know how to give,
Yeah. Come
right?
on.
So yeah, that love piece is
It's
a
major.
lot. Yeah, it's
It's
major,
major.
and like you said, it's transformative. Like you change through love,
That's
and
right.
yeah, that takes vulnerability. It takes a lot of the things, and yeah, that in of itself.
That's the good
Whew,
stuff though. That's the good stuff. That's when you operating on another
for sure.
level is when you're able to touch into that stuff. But I also understand there's a lot of fear for a lot of us around it because it's like, what if I let myself open up to this and it goes away? Or it's,
Mm,
or they actually see me and I'm not good enough. There's a lot of stories we can tell ourselves that block us from feeling what love can actually do. We try to convince ourselves that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I find when I have stood in that light of love, I, I'm like, well, this is what the whole thing is about. This is the most
Truly.
powerful force that I have
Yep.
ever experienced. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just want more and more of us. That is, when we talk about generational trauma,
Mm-hmm.
that's where it comes undone. We can do a
Mm.
lot of work. We can do a lot of like go to therapy. It will help. But what it's going to come down to is will I allow myself now to be loved and will I love?
Mm. My goodness. Whew. Um, wow. I have been having some conversations with my husband over like the past couple years because I was raised in a really religious household. But as I stepped out into the world on my own, I started to examine my beliefs.
Mm,
And I'm like, the picture that was painted for me of who God is, I'm just like, that person,
yeah,
I don't like that person. That
yeah,
person is not kind. That person is looking
yeah,
for a reason to judge and to punish.
yeah.
And my husband, who is somebody who was not raised in the church,
Mm.
um, really made things so simple. Like, your Bible says that God is love. What is love? Like, for
Mm-hmm.
real, like, what do you know about love? Like,
Mm.
if it falls out of all of those, if it falls out of the category of what love is, that's not God.
Right, right.
Seek that,
Hey,
you
hey,
know?
that's right.
And yeah, so
I
coming
love
back to
that.
what you just said, allowing yourself to be loved and then also to love,
Yeah.
that's powerful. That is so
Mm-hmm.
powerful.
Well, it sounds like y'all are in the practice of it. Y'all are in the reflection of it, because yeah, that to me is it. I'm like, God is love. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
trying to dictate anybody else's beliefs, but
Mm-hmm.
that's enough to meditate on.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
And how can I